Hey there, and thanks for joining me on today's video. So in this video, we're going to talk about life paradoxes. This is a mindset related video lesson. Now, if you're a student of our live Locator Academy, you would understand that we do a whole full module on mindset videos to train your mindset, get you in the mindset for success and self-improvement, right? So that's very, very important to us. We go into that module before we even start teaching about the business, because the truth is, no matter what business you're in, if you have a broken mindset, you're not going to really learn in the best way and you're not going to perform, right? You also might doubt yourself too. Okay, so here on the list, we have confidence, trust issues, guilt and feeling of unworthiness, lack of abundance. These are all very realistic lies that life will present to us. And a lot of us just buy into it. So we're going to talk about life paradoxes. That's the term for this video lesson. What are the life paradoxes? Because if you don't know something exists, it's hard to defeat it or overcome it, and at the very least, not let it affect you. So maybe this video lesson helps you become more confident, less trust issues, or stop feeling guilty about something. So let's talk about life paradoxes, okay? In life, you might know someone, or you might have suffered this yourself, where you feel like you're not very confident, okay? How many times have you heard that? Someone say, hey, I'm not a very confident person. I'm just not really confident, so I'm not good at whatever task, okay? That is a false belief, because when you really think about life paradoxes, for someone to say that, they're confident in their own belief that they're not confident, right? So for someone to say, I'm not going to be good at this task because I'm not a confident person, well, you're confident that you're not confident, because it's a paradox of life. And so understanding that hypocrisy exists will help you basically do the one solution to fix all of this stuff. Because you'll understand that what we're talking about with number one is number two, and it is number three, and it is number four. So we're going to really quickly go over this example and conclude the video today, okay? You're not unconfident, because for you to believe that means you're confident in the fact that you're not confident. Number two, trust issues. For you to say or believe that you're someone who has trust issues, well, you trust the fact that you have trust issues, okay? So you're trusting that you have trust issues. So in and of itself is untrue. It's a life paradox. Okay, so you have to understand that one. All right. Number three, guilt or feeling of unworthiness. Maybe you might have done something in your life, like all of us, that we're not super proud of, right? And so then you feel guilt. I don't know what it is for you. It's different for me. It's different for anyone. And the problem here is that the guilt never really goes away, because we have false internal beliefs and we're not looking at any of these things in the right perspective. So you can't let these things hold you back. Because in example number three, okay, if you have guilt because you did something that you're not proud of, and now you're left with a feeling of unworthiness, well, in and of itself, the fact that you feel guilt actually proves to you that you are a worthy person and a good person, all right? So a lot of times we do something in life that's a mistake and we feel bad about it and we think that we're a bad person. But if you dig deeper in number three, you'll realize that if you were this bad person that you feel that you are, well, you would just do that action and other actions without feeling bad about it, and you would continue to do bad stuff. And so for the fact that you do feel guilt about whatever mistake that you did, and the fact that you do feel like you're unworthy because you did a bad action, proves to you that you're a person that knows right from wrong, because you feel guilty about doing something wrong. Right? So in and of itself, you're proving to yourself that you are actually a worthy person, because otherwise you wouldn't even feel the guilt to begin with. It's another very common life paradox that sneaks up on us. But if we understand that these are just lies, then you don't have to let them affect you anymore. Because this stuff really affects not only personal aspects of your life, but in business as well. Okay? Number four, lack of abundance. You'll notice a pattern. It's all the same thing, really. A lack of abundance doesn't exist in the first place. There is no such thing as a lack of abundance, but you might be suffering from something called the reversal. You might have an abundance of lack. That's true, because in life, there's always abundance no matter what. It's like a truth in life. There's always abundance, but you might have an abundance of lack. Right? How do you solve feeling like you have a lack of abundance? There's no opportunities available to you. There's no resources available to you. There's just nothing available to you, right? How do you solve the feeling of a lack of abundance? The only way to solve any of these, and the reality is that if you solve one of them, you can solve all of them, okay? The only thing to do here is to have a different belief system and change your perspective on how something might be. Okay, so once you do that and you dig deeper in each of these issues that all of us have, as adults, you'll understand that it just in and of itself doesn't even make sense. And so therefore you can let go of that false belief that doesn't serve you positively. That's really all there is to do. These are just feelings that are not real, because you have a belief attached that isn't real or serving you. So understand that these are all just classic examples of life paradoxes. So once you know that, then it's like, you've discovered the lie, and then none of these things can affect you, okay? So let's just kind of recap, and understanding now that we just have to change our perspective of what's happening, and then all of this just kind of falls off. All the weight of all this stuff just kind of falls off, and then you no longer have to suffer from it anymore, okay? Confidence. You think that you're not a very confident person. Not true, because you're confident in the fact that you think that you're unconfident. You're confident in that. So in and of itself is a paradox. So boom, now that you've discovered that epiphany, now it no longer affects you anymore, okay? Now you know that you are a confident person, because just a moment ago, you were confident that you're not confident, which requires confidence in itself. So there's no such thing of not being confident, because you're confident of that, okay? So see it in that perspective, and then just choose now to believe that you are a confident person, because you've always have been a confident person. You were just confident in the wrong thing. You were confident in a lie. You were confident that you were an unconfident person, but that requires confidence in itself. Now, no longer will you have to suffer from that, because it doesn't exist. Same thing here. You think that you have trust issues, so it's hard for you to talk to people. It's hard for you to make agreements with people, which is part of collections anyways. It's hard for you to get into relationships because you have trust issues. But the fact is, you trust that about yourself. So it's not that you really have trust issues, it's that you trust a belief that's a lie, okay? You no longer have that. Just choose to trust that you are a trusting person. Now just trust something else. Don't trust that you have trust issues. Trust something else, because in and of itself means you have trust. All right, number 3, guilt and being unworthy. All right, so you did something in your life that you're not proud of. Now you feel guilt, and now you have this, and you're left with a feeling of unworthiness. Okay, so whatever you did in your life, okay, you know that that was a bad thing to do. So in and of itself, the reason you feel guilt is because you're actually a worthy person. You're actually a worthy person, because a worthy person feels guilt when they do something they learn to be wrong. So in and of itself means you are a worthy person. So the fact that you feel guilt and think you're unworthy is actually just a lie. You have a belief that's attached that's a lie, right? Now you no longer have to be under this issue's grasp at all, because you know that if you weren't a good person, you wouldn't even feel the guilt in the first place. So don't let this lie sneak up against you. Boom, that's gone. And then number 4 is a lack of abundance. It's not that you have a lack of money, because there's always opportunity to make money somehow. Okay, it's that you have the reversal. You actually just are experiencing an abundance of lack, because abundance in life is a constant. You always have an abundance of something. You just have an abundance of lack. And so now that you understand that no matter where you are in life, there's always abundance. Just look at that in a different perspective and start believing that you have an abundance of opportunity instead of a lack of abundance. Then the problem is solved. So that goes away. The last thing I'll say about this mindset video is that each of those problems can be solved in an instant. The only reason they linger on and eat at you is because you're allowing that false belief to exist. So understanding that those problems are a direct result of life's paradoxes. And that's what a paradox is. It's when life makes you feel that you're this negative thing, but actually in and of itself proves that it can't even be possible. Don't let this sneak up on your team. And now you understand that none of this has to exist if you change your perspective. Because if you dive deep in all of those problems we just erased, in and of itself proves that they don't exist. So if you have a staff and they feel like they're not confident, they feel like they're not good enough to do whatever the tasks are, just know that they just need to understand the fundamentals of what a life paradox is so they can realize it exists and let it go for good. Hopefully this video was helpful. There's tons of other mindset videos, but we're not gonna do an extensive module on mindset, because this program is more of how do we collect, what's the standard of protocol, and what's the exit strategy. Hopefully this helps you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.